Because people really do think that
we're not it's not a good situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially my family.
And you know what? And it's so I got to admit that I am ignorant to the fact of your feelings that you had for us, because I didn't jump on Facebook a lot. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't really go on the social media for negative stuff. And honestly, I wasn't listening to any of the morning shows.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wasn't hearing it myself. You know, and I did get a few text messages about, you know, oh, did you hear what such and such said? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear that. So, but I did get text messages about it. So, first of all, thank you for coming in, because you don't have to. Because you did feel a certain way about 97.9 The Beat and Radio 1. You know what I'm saying?
I did.
You did. You felt a certain way about it because you used to work here. And then you left.
For 5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Happy.
I'll put it like this. Like, my love for radio just superseded the fact that, you know, whether I got along with this person or not or whatever, it was still the fun of it, you know, and then just... that was something that I always wanted to do, was, you know, be a radio personality. I love music of all genres, and it was my dream job. So if I didn't get along with this person or that person, still that time frame while you're at work, all you're thinking about is, this is fun. I'm going to make this fun.
We had fun.
So, yeah, we did. And you and I, we did have fun.
We did have fun.
We had plenty of twerk sessions.
Yes, yes. I mean, we
in
had
the studio. We
had a good time. So
we did. So I was shocked when I left when some of the stuff was.
Well, we're speaking with Kitty Jones. You recently had the article in the Rolling Stones magazine about Rkelly. And so first of all, before we get into that, I'm going to apologize to you for everything that I said out of not meaning to be mean, but trying to be funny. You know, about, oh, Rkelly sent Kitty home. Kitty left her job to be with Rkelly. You know, just kind of talking about it and not talking to you about it. You know what I'm saying? I need to apologize to your family for causing them, you know, pain and frustration. It's bad enough that you're there and they're not sure what's going on, but for it to be trivial and joked about is even worse. So I do want to apologize to your family and to you first and foremost, to let you know that, you know, I wish I hadn't have did that. It's not worth their, you know, emotional, you know, feelings for me to try to get a laugh off, you know, and not really knowing the situation. But let's rewind,
I accept your apology.
Thank you. Because we hung out. You know what I'm saying? We hung out. We went places together. Well, hell, we was at the after party for the Rkelly. You know what I'm saying? When you met Rkelly at that after party, I was there. Now, I was drunk. And probably a little mad he wasn't looking at me.
You escaped that way.
Yeah, I did. Didn't I? Thank you, Jesus.
And you were at my last birthday party before I left town.
We hung out. And so we're going to rewind back to when I remember Rkelly courting you. And how did that happen?
While I was still working
While you're still working here. You met him at the party in Fort Worth. And
yeah.
What happened?
You mean like coming to work and how
that was like? How did he walk up to you? Did he say, yo, hey, what's your name?
It was just a regular thing that we do. You know, we introduce ourselves because he was there, you know, for the after party. And of course, at that time, I think we were responsible for uploading, like if we did a remote, we uploaded the photos from the remote, or...
It was a remote, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I remember getting paid for it.
Yeah, it was
I think it was McHenry or whatever. I don't want to plug them, but
yeah. You did.
Okay. It was definitely something that I got paid for, and I did go in for a photo with him, which is the photo you saw in Rolling Stone, and then when we, you know, went to shake hands, well, he insisted that we shake hands. That's when he slipped the phone number, and I explained that in the article as well. And then I just got
write the phone number down. Did he just have
no?
A phone
I
number
think it
on
was
deck?
Pre-made because over the years there are things that I saw. Yeah.
So
it was already.
He writes down his number
because he anticipates he's going to pass it. Yeah.
Is it his handwriting, or do you think somebody else writes
not.
it?
I don't think so.
So there's somebody writing these little notes for Rkelly to hand out when he's going out It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to like take his phone out and look like he's getting a phone number.
Uh-huh.
He's really private, so.
Okay. So after you got the note, then it was like, how long ago before y'all talked after that?
We talked the same night, and then as far as seeing each other, it was about 2 months, 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And I remember the gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember, you courting him courting you, and I also remember you saying that he told you not to talk about it to your coworkers.
Yeah, because he didn't want it to look bad on me as far as being professional, and people always made him into like a joke, an ongoing joke, you know what I mean? So he didn't want me to be affected by that. So
now that you see
yeah.
what was really going on with R. Kelly, do you think people joking is appropriate?
Joking on,
like when they're the ongoing joke about R. Kelly, do you see some truth in it? Because what would be the ongoing joke about R. Kelly?
well,
The Pied Piper.
when I met him, I was, like anybody that you might hear any like previous rumors about, you get to know that person on your own, and then you form your own opinion of them. So I was very defensive. Of course, once you fall in love with somebody and then you start hearing people joke, it's not funny to you. Did I laugh before? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, when I got to learn more about who the man was, I was like, this isn't funny to me. Like when people would say, are you going to get, urinated on the Chicago
Golden showers.
Yeah, it was like fake pages that were being made around that time, and people would say these, nasty things to me because they heard this or heard that. It was hurtful because I was like, if they knew exactly, the person that he was, this isn't true about him,
Who is he? Like, what?
He's damaged. He's damaged.
And he spoke about that too, being abused as a child in his book.
I didn't read the book, but I just know, like, in our private conversations, it was a lot of abuse, both sexes. And those are things that he confided in, with me. And we've had a lot of deep conversations about, just people in his personal life, over time betraying him and stuff like that. So that was kind of working on my
psyche.
Yeah, it really was.
You wanted to protect him.
Yeah, I did.
Because he did a good job of swooing you, kind of making you believe that he's this good guy, that you're going to have a life with.
Like,
did you believe you and R. Kelly was going to be together for
Absolutely.
Ever?
Why wouldn't I? The same way you get in any relationship, you want it to be happily ever after. You're not just in it for temporary. And then people know, I had permanent things in my life that I had worked hard for, so I didn't just give it up thinking, oh, I'm going to date him for 3 months.
Yeah, because that's a question a lot of people want to know. Why did Kitty leave her job, her apartment, her car, her everything to go be with R. Kelly? And you wasn't going just... Did you think that you were going to marry him, maybe?
There was a time frame that was probably gonna...
Did he talk about marriage to you?
I can't answer that right now.
Why? Because it hurts?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I saw you go. And you was very happy, and we didn't talk about your actual conversations because I think you respected him that much to do that, but I would never sit here and judge a woman because she gave up something that she wanted for her life. What woman doesn't want to be married? What woman doesn't want the husband who can travel the world with? But what you didn't want was to be beat and disrespected.
Right.
That's it, But
yeah, you're not thinking that going in, and of course that behavior wasn't displayed to me until, of course, I gave up everything and I moved there, and then you're under a different type of control when you don't have outside influences. And
How long before the first time y'all met up was at the hotel room in Denver, right?
yes.
That's the first time you actually got to touch him since he slipped you the number in Fort Worth.
Correct.
So when that happened, it wasn't really the picture perfect type of situation, was it? Like when you got into the room.
It was bizarre, but it wasn't like a.
Because you already had freaky.
I mean, yeah,
Sexting and
it
stuff.
led up to a lot, and then I felt comfortable with him, and I was like, wow, he trusts me to even be sending me these type of photos, and he's a person of that caliber.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm like,
we built up a trust. We built up a trust with each other.
Because a lot of women, not a lot of men, a lot of ununderstanding people would assume, oh, I walk into a room my first time seeing R. Kelly, and he's got his thing out, But through all the text messages and you had, why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? Because we ready. Let's get it popping. Let's get this thing going,
Right.
So I understand how that might not be such an alarming,
I mean, it was bizarre, but it wasn't abusive to me, I just thought he got off in a weird way, he wanted me to model while he
ejaculated.
Pleasured himself. So, and then, I mean, the weekend was still fun.
Right.
I mean, I think I came back with a Prada bag or something
did?
that weekend.
You did?
I mean,
red bottoms or something.
Yeah, I had a lot of nice things. I mean, we had a fun weekend. He's a funny guy, don't get me wrong. And it was the same courting. It kept going. But, yeah, that was like the first sign of he has some weird habits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, but that is not warranted enough to say, I don't want to be with him.
Of course not. Of course not at that time.
When did the first situation happen where you got nervous and said, this is not what I signed up for?
Of course, after I moved there, but
the video,
I think I
was
described.
it the first time
Was it? I believe it was it wasn't you. My best friend Latoya is here, always very supportive. But I remember visiting for Thanksgiving, and I remember a friend of mine asking me if I ever saw the sex tape. And of course, by that time, I'm just, I'm in love with him. I don't want anybody to bring up anything negative. I had given up all these things.
And you heard about the sex tape before?
Yeah, I was on the radio, during that time when it was announced that he was acquitted. I remember the BET interview, but I always stay neutral. You report the news. You try to be neutral as well, Vita, like when it comes to certain things. Even like with the Nelly stuff that came out recently, you don't want to say, oh, I believe this or I don't. You just report it and let the people do the talking, right?
Right.
That's how I was with the R. Kelly stuff. I wasn't like, girl, did you see? And then if it was someone, I didn't want to watch it. I saw images of a person doing something, but I never watched the tape. So this particular trip home,
a friend asked
me if I had ever seen it, and I was furious with her for even bringing that up.
Do you think she did that out of a spite?
Yeah, that's how I felt, because I was happy at the time, and I was visiting, and all these things were going on. And I remember Googling it. I remember going to images. I remember seeing a face. And the reason I got really upset is because while I was in Chicago the first 3 weeks, he plays basketball a lot at night. And I remember he would clear out the bench and just have me sit by myself and have everyone else like be on the other end. I have photos of that, by the way. But yeah, like he would go to a park to play basketball, he would clear it out so I can have that bench by myself. Like the whole, not just one bench, like the whole thing.
Side of the court.
Right.
What was that about?
He just didn't want people sitting next to me or guys getting an opportunity to talk to me while he was on the court. So this particular time, a girl came and sat next to me, and I noticed she was like cheering for him a lot. And I was like, wow, But fast forward to that incident where the girl's sitting next to me. Well, when I saw the images on Google, it looked exactly like the girl that was sitting next to me the week before. that he had introduced me to.
Mm-hmm.
And
the young lady that the allegedly in that videotape.
They looked very similar.
Right.
So I kept thinking, wait a minute, he introduced me to somebody that looks exactly like this person that I'm looking at right now. And I just became furious. I hit play on the video. And
you kind of got like that, like the main chick, like you ain't about to have any.
It wasn't even that. It's true. Like in my mind, I started thinking, this can't be the same person that I'm looking at, that in this video that looks just like the girl that I saw last week.
Because you didn't believe the video.
No.
And then at this
I
moment,
didn't watch it. I didn't see it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you hadn't even looked at it then.
No, I just saw like images. I didn't know what the hell happened. I just knew that he got off. Okay, so a lot of things were going through my mind. Like, okay, here it is, 2011. This tape came out in 2002. That's 9 years ago. I'm doing the math, and I'm thinking, she's still around. If this is, you know what I mean?
Because you don't know
right.
Exactly.
And then I'm thinking, what role does she play in his life? Did he do this to her? Like, all these things are going through my mind, and I'm crying. I'm furious. So that's when I called him, and he demanded that I get back to Chicago immediately because I'm listening to other, you know, he's using a lot of language or whatever, expletives, and demanding that I get back on the flight the next day.
Why was you even, you had came back to do what?
It was Thanksgiving week.
Oh,
you know, just to hang out with my family.
So you would travel back and forth with him?
Early on. It was the first 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, when I got back, that was the first time, yeah.
Physical
he was furious that I had asked him about the tape.
And then after that physical altercation, did they come more frequently?
Yeah, like, I would say around the spring of 2012. Yeah, that's when it got really bad.
What would the time frame, like, what would be going on? Like, so
I mean, there were several different instances. Like, I don't want to get specific, but he doesn't like for you to draw attention to yourself. He doesn't want the attention to be off of him. I mean, I had to like turn my chair like towards him if we were all having dinner with other celebrities. I remember laughing. I don't want to name the celebrity, but I remember laughing at a joke. This is before I knew better. And you know, he would slap me, you know, not in front of them, but
he would
behind closed doors. If I would forget to stand up, you know, when he would walk in the room, things like that.
You would get physically.
Yeah, he'll clear the room, and then, you know.
And so these people that are on his team there watching this, what is their expressions? What do they ever speak to you, or they comfort you?
No, they wouldn't dare. I was describing this, I think, as well in Rolling Stone. I remember visiting and waiting on him in his studio, and there's like these 2 stairs you have to kind of walk up while it's like a sunken room, and then you have like these 2 steps to go up to the other level of the room to sit on the couches. And I remember stumbling over that, and I literally almost fell with my bags, and the guys were just sitting stiff, like, you know, tunnel vision. They were still typing. It wasn't, are you okay? You're going to kill yourself up there. You know, nothing. They just knew not to turn around and talk to me. And then when he came in the studio, he peeped his head in and said, you know, babe, come here. And so when I walked out, he said, they talked to you? And then I said, no. And he was like, so on your way here, did the guy say anything to you? Did you say anything to him? Okay, so the next time you come, don't wear stuff like that. I got to train you. I got to teach you how to be with daddy and things like that, you know, trying to make sure I knew, like, not to wear fitting clothes. Don't talk to the guys, not even a hello. And they knew, you know, if you've been working with this person for 10 years or more, you knew that would infuriate him if, you know, you spoke to one of his girlfriends. You know what I mean? So.
Did you sometimes blame them? Like, why didn't y'all help me?
You know, there was one runner. I think I turned over those text messages as well. Um, he was. He just looked disgusted.
He was tired of it.
He knew. He knew that I was confined to um, a specific room, and he would bring my. He would knock on the door and hand me my food, and leave. I would send him a list of things that I needed. You know, your personal items as a woman. He would go and get those things, and he'll knock on the door, and he would know when I was starving. He knew because he wasn't allowed to respond back to me if I was on punishment, so to speak.
Yeah,
So he
so
would feel
R.
really
Kelly
bad.
would inform everyone,
Don't
kitties,
respond back.
don't respond back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Until he puts out the word.
Yeah, you can go take her order from 2 days ago, type of thing.
And when this was happening, now Latoya's here. You would text Latoya. Now, and that's to me that's very desperate because Latoya's here in Texas. How is she to get you food? Have you ever gotten her food during these texts?
Mhm.
How did you do that, Toya?
I mean, when you order a pizza,
So you would just order a pizza from here. Tell us about it.
Well, it's one of those where she'll send me a text and say, hey, basically what's in the Rolling Stone, can you send me a pizza because he's not here? He won't be here until such and such time. So she'll give me the address as to where she's located. I'll go online. She'll let me know what pizza place is near. I'll go online, order the pizza, and have it delivered to her.
And at that time, I wasn't upfront about what was happening to me.
What was she telling you?
Lies.
Like what? Like what? What did she? How could you get past that? Because here she is out here with R. Kelly, and here you are at home, you know, doing your thing, providing for your family. So did you have this thing like, why I gotta buy you pizza, and you out there with R. Kelly?
I would make her think he wasn't there, or I didn't have my phone. I mean, my card or money on me, and I'm like, oh, he's at the gym.
Did you believe her?
Not all
Tell
the
the truth.
time. No. But I knew. I mean, we've been friends for a long time. So, you know, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to let my friend starve. So I'll just, you know.
But would you ever talk to her about what your feelings were?
Oh, she knew. Yeah, we had those discussions. Oh, yeah.
Whenever you had your phone?
Oh, you got to tell them about when I would have my phone. But you know what? Once she started picking up on what was happening, she knew that he was reading my text messages, so she would play the game.
I had to play the mind game.
And what was that?
Because due to the fact I knew he was reading a text message, if he knew I would speak negative about him towards the text, I knew that he would not let us communicate. So for me, I would give her words of encouragement and like, hey, you know, Bible scriptures or stuff like that. He knew I was like the church girl, don't go clubbing or anything like that. So he felt comfortable with
me talking to her.
Communicating with me. So I'm like, okay, I know he's reading these texts. So then you're like, hey sis, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? You know, are you enjoying your day? You know, we'll just have normal conversations where he won't think, oh, she don't like me or anything like that.
Because even when I would come to visit here, he was only comfortable with me
coming to my house,
being at her house.
How would he know where you would be at? Like
that was my boyfriend. He had to know where.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I had to FaceTime and show him what I was wearing the whole time. You know, he's not one to just believe
everything you say.
Right. So we'll take selfies and stuff. Just so
I had to FaceTime a lot. Yeah.
What would you say like when she would come here? Did you ever try to talk her into staying, or did you what would you?
Well, she always knew whenever that time came that she wanted to just straight leave. She can always come to my house, but I never would be like, girl, you need to leave him,
because I wasn't giving her the truth at that time either. So.
Yeah.